What if I told you the biggest enemy you'll ever face is the one staring back at you in the mirror? It's not your boss. It's not your parents. It's not your competition, your critics, or even your past. It's you. And the battle you're in, it's personal, quiet, daily, and relentless. It's a war that doesn't get televised, doesn't get praised, and doesn't have a cheering crowd. It's the war between who you are now and who you know deep down you're capable of becoming. This isn't about proving anyone else wrong. This is about proving yourself right. And you know that voice I'm talking about. The one that whispers, "You're tired, take it easy. You'll fail anyway, you're not ready." That voice, it doesn't want you to rise. It wants you to settle. Because comfort is the enemy of greatness. And that voice, your voice, will dress up fear like logic, will wrap excuses in pretty words, will make you believe that mediocrity is safety. But there's another voice. The one you ignore when things get hard. The one that says, "Get up, keep going. You've got more." That voice isn't loud. It doesn't beg for attention. It waits. Quiet. Steady. It's the version of you that's stronger, wiser, more disciplined. But you don't get to hear it unless you silence the noise, unless you stop negotiating with your weaknesses. See, most people are fighting for approval. You've got to fight for your evolution. This is the match that defines everything. You either conquer yourself or you get conquered by yourself. Every decision you make is a vote for the person you want to be. Every moment you hesitate, procrastinate, or choose comfort over discipline, you're handing the victory to your lesser self. This isn't a one-time fight. It's a daily grind. And it's brutal because there's no hiding from it. You can fake it for others, but you can't lie to the person you see when the lights are off. You can't escape the truth you feel in your gut when you know you're capable of more, but choose to give less. So the question is this: who's going to win today? You or you? Because one of you wants to grow. The other wants to coast. One of you is ready for war. The other just wants to feel safe. Only one walks out stronger. And today, you get to decide. You wake up every day thinking the world is out to get you. You think your struggles come from your environment, your past, or the people around you. But the truth is, none of those are your real enemy. The real fight isn't external. It's internal. It's not about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening within you. The most dangerous battles are the silent ones, the ones nobody sees. The battles that don't get medals or recognition. The ones you fight alone when the room is quiet and your thoughts start to get loud. That's where the real war begins. Every excuse you've ever made, that's not the world stopping you. That's you stopping yourself. Every time you said, "I'm too tired," or "It's not the right time," or "What if I fail?" that wasn't life getting in your way. That was you building the wall that blocks your own progress. You weren't held back by someone else. You were held back by the version of you that fears change, that hates discomfort, that craves safety over success. And let's be honest, comfort is addictive. It whispers to you, you've done enough, when you've barely scratched the surface. It tells you to relax, to take the easy road, to wait for tomorrow. But here's the truth. Comfort is a liar. It doesn't care about your growth. It wants you stuck. It wants you small. It wants you forgettable. You've got dreams, goals, potential. But none of that means anything if you don't win the war happening inside your own mind. Because the world can give you 100 opportunities, but if your internal world is filled with self-doubt, insecurity, and fear, you'll sabotage every single one of them. You'll find reasons not to try. You'll avoid risk. You'll play small when you were built to move mountains. This battle is invisible, but it's brutal. It's waking up and dragging yourself to work when every part of your body says stay in bed. It's putting in the hours when no one is watching. It's staying focused when distractions are screaming for your attention. It's refusing to listen to the voice that tells you to quit. That voice, it lives in all of us. It's the voice of your weaker self, the part of you that's ruled by fear. And here's what most people never understand. You can't just ignore that voice. You have to confront it. You have to shut it down every single day. You have to build the discipline to override it. Because if you don't, it will run your life. This isn't about being fearless. Fear will always exist. This is about mastering your fear, not being mastered by it. It's about being honest with yourself. Radical honesty. The kind that stings. The kind that forces you to admit you've been slacking, that you've been choosing comfort over commitment, that you've been pretending to be a victim when deep down you know you've been giving 50% and calling it 100. But here's the good news. If the real battle is inside, then so is the power to win it. You don't need approval. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing or ideal conditions. You need one thing: ownership. You take responsibility for your mind, your choices, your direction. You stop pointing fingers and start pulling yourself forward. This is where transformation begins. Not outside in the world, but inside your thoughts, your habits, your decisions. You change the story you tell yourself. And suddenly, everything starts to shift. You stop being the person who waits and wishfully thinks. You become the person who shows up, no matter how hard it gets. You will never truly grow until you accept that the only real opponent is you. And the day you realize that is the day you take your power back. Because when you start to master your inner world, the outer world has no choice but to follow. So next time you think life is unfair or stacked against you, pause and ask yourself, am I being beaten by life? Or am I being beaten by the part of me that doesn't want to fight? Because the truth is, most of the battles that break us weren't lost out there. They were lost right here, inside. But if that's where the battle lives, that's also where the victory begins. Discipline isn't about being strict. It's not about being harsh. It's not even about being perfect. Discipline is a deep act of self-respect. It's how you show up for yourself when no one else will. It's the language you use to say, I matter enough to stay committed to my goals, no matter how I feel. You want to know what separates those who make it and those who don't. It's not talent. It's not money. It's not luck. It's discipline. It's showing up when it's hard. It's pushing forward when no one is watching. It's saying yes to progress and no to the temptations that pull you off track. When you respect yourself, you don't allow yourself to be run by emotions. You don't say, I'll do it when I feel like it. You say, I'll do it because I said I would. And that kind of consistency builds character. That kind of repetition builds strength, because you cannot create anything lasting, whether it's a career, a mindset, or a legacy, without discipline as the foundation. People confuse discipline with punishment. They think it's about restriction, but it's not. It's about freedom. Discipline gives you control over your life. It gives you the ability to direct your energy with purpose, instead of being at the mercy of your moods, impulses, and excuses. Without discipline, you're just reacting to life. With it, you're creating it. And yes, it's hard. It's supposed to be. You will have days when your body screams for rest, when your mind begs for a break, when distractions seem sweeter than your purpose. But that's when the real moment of truth shows up. Discipline means you choose what's right, not what's easy. You choose your future over your feelings. Because here's the thing. Feelings are fleeting. They shift like the wind. One moment you feel inspired, the next you feel drained. If you build your life on emotions, your foundation will crumble every time life gets heavy. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline gets the work done regardless. It holds the line when everything else is trying to pull you back. Every time you follow through on a promise you made to yourself, you build trust, you build self-worth, you build integrity. And when you stack those small wins day after day, you become unstoppable, not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. Discipline is showing up to the gym, even when your muscles ache. It's finishing that project even when your brain is tired. It's keeping your word even when no one else is around to see you do it. And it's in those invisible, unglamorous moments that the transformation happens. You start walking different. You start thinking different. You start carrying yourself like someone who doesn't need validation, because your actions are the proof of your worth. You no longer need applause because you've already earned your respect from yourself. Let's be real. The world can't give you what you don't give to yourself. If you don't respect your time, why should anyone else? If you don't prioritize your goals, no one will do it for you. If you keep breaking your own promises, your word means nothing. Not to others, and worse, not to yourself. Self-respect isn't just about how you talk to yourself in the mirror. It's how you treat your time, your health, your focus. When you choose discipline, you're choosing to build a life on purpose, not by accident. You're saying, I deserve better, and I'm going to earn it. One action at a time. And don't fall for the myth that discipline has to be dramatic. It's not about doing everything at once or grinding yourself into the ground. It's about consistency. It's about showing up again and again and again, even when the results don't come right away. Because discipline doesn't give you instant rewards. It gives you something better. It gives you mastery. The truth is, no one can make you disciplined. No one can give it to you. It's a choice. Every single day, you can either let your life be ruled by comfort, or you can let it be shaped by purpose. One path will keep you safe, small, and stuck. The other will build the strength and courage you didn't even know you had. You don't need more motivation. You need more follow-through. You need to wake up, look in the mirror, and ask, do my actions reflect the kind of respect I say I have for myself? Because until they do, everything you want will stay out of reach. But when your habits, your time, and your decisions start matching your dreams, that's when everything changes. That's when the world starts taking you seriously because you finally took yourself seriously. Your mind is a powerful tool, but it's also a trickster. It will try to convince you that you're not good enough, not ready, or that it's safer to stay small. And the cruelest part, it doesn't shout these lies. It whispers them in your own voice. It uses your own thoughts against you. You think it's logic, but it's fear. You think it's caution, but it's sabotage. Your mind will dress up self-doubt in the clothing of realism and tell you to wait, to play it safe, to protect yourself. But protect yourself from what? Growth, challenge, becoming who you were born to be. The truth is, your mind isn't built to make you successful. It's built to keep you safe. And safety isn't always what you need. Growth doesn't live in the comfort zone. Strength isn't built where it's easy. And success, it never knocks on the door of the person who hides behind fear and excuses. You have to understand that your brain is wired for survival, not success, not greatness, not evolution, just survival. So when you try to level up, when you try to do something bold or uncomfortable, your mind will sound the alarm. It'll flood you with doubt. It'll create stories to explain why you shouldn't move forward. You'll start hearing thoughts like, you're not ready, what if you fail, or you're not like them. That's not truth. That's your survival instinct, mistaking progress for danger. But here's where it gets real. You're smarter than your fear. You can't let your first thought be your final decision. You have to train yourself to question that voice. You have to develop the habit of pushing back, because if you don't, your life will be ruled by the voice that wants to keep you ordinary. Your mind will try to make you quit before you even begin. It will amplify your weaknesses and downplay your strengths. It will hold up your past mistakes like a mirror and say, see, you always mess it up. It will turn temporary discomfort into permanent paralysis if you let it. But you don't have to believe everything you think. Not every thought is truth. Your mind is a battlefield, and you have to become the commander, not the casualty. You have to learn to respond, not react. To take a pause when that inner critic shows up. To say, I hear you, but you don't lead me. Outsmarting your mind doesn't mean ignoring fear. It means recognizing it for what it is, a warning system, not a compass. You can acknowledge fear without obeying it. You can sit with discomfort without surrendering to it. And most importantly, you can act in spite of it. The strongest people in the world aren't fearless. They just know how to keep moving even when fear tries to chain them down. They've trained themselves to override that self-sabotaging inner voice. They've built mental habits that serve them, not shrink them. And that's the kind of power you have to build. Step by step, thought by thought. It starts with awareness. Catch yourself in the act of sabotage. When you're avoiding the gym, procrastinating on your goals, or settling for less than you deserve, pause and ask, what story am I telling myself right now? And is it even true? Most of the time, you'll realize it's just a mental pattern you've been rehearsing for years. Then comes the discipline. You have to interrupt those patterns and insert new ones. You replace I can't with I can figure it out. You replace I'm not good enough with I'm improving every day. And no, it's not just positive thinking, it's mental conditioning. Just like training a muscle, you have to train your mindset to default to strength instead of fear. You will fail sometimes. Your mind will win some of those battles. But the goal isn't perfection. It's persistence. Every time you push back, every time you take action in spite of doubt, you weaken that inner saboteur. You take the power back. You become someone who no longer runs from challenge but runs toward it. Because now you understand that the obstacle isn't the real problem. The story you tell yourself about the obstacle is. And here's the wild thing. Once you start outsmarting that inner critic, your mind shifts from being your worst enemy to becoming your strongest ally. Because now it's no longer running on autopilot. It's being led. And you're the one in the driver's seat. So don't be fooled by that voice that tells you to stop. That voice isn't your truth, it's your test. And every time you face it head on, you prove that you're not the victim of your thoughts. You're the master of them. That's what makes you powerful. That's what makes you dangerous, and that's how you win the war within. Every day you have a choice that no one else can make for you. It's not about beating the person next to you, outdoing your coworkers, or proving yourself to anyone else. The real competition is the person you were yesterday, because that's the only battle that truly matters. Success isn't a giant leap or a perfect moment. It's the small steps, the tiny victories that stack up over time and create an unbreakable foundation. You might look around and feel overwhelmed by how far you still have to go. You might compare your progress to others and feel like you're falling behind. But here's the truth. Comparison is a thief. It steals your focus from the only person you should be concerned about, yourself. The person you were yesterday is the baseline. Your goal is simple, to be better than that version of you. Being better doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you need to have everything figured out. It just means progress, growth, improvement. It's about pushing yourself just a little more today than you did yesterday. It's waking up and asking yourself, what can I do differently? What can I do better? Even if it's something small, that question will change everything. Imagine your life as a bank account. Every positive action, every effort you make is a deposit. Some days, those deposits are huge, when you crush your goals or overcome a huge obstacle. Other days, they might be small, getting up early, choosing discipline, saying no to distractions. But those small deposits count just as much, because they add up over time. The problem most people face is impatience. They want instant results. They want transformation overnight. When that doesn't happen, they give up. They get discouraged and say, this isn't working for me. But change isn't a magic trick. It's a process. It's slow, it's steady, and it's relentless. Every champion, every successful person you admire has built their success on consistent effort. Not on moments of brilliance alone. They showed up day after day, choosing growth over comfort. And that's what you have to do too. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. You will stumble and fall. But that doesn't mean you're back at square one. It means you're learning. It means you're evolving. The only real failure is giving up. Because as long as you keep trying, you keep improving. When you commit to being better than who you were yesterday, you shift your mindset. You stop worrying about perfection and start focusing on progress. You begin to celebrate small wins instead of waiting for big ones. You develop resilience, patience, and grit, the true marks of strength. And this mindset doesn't just affect your goals. It changes your relationships, your confidence, your entire outlook on life. You become someone who refuses to settle for less, someone who pushes through challenges with courage, someone who understands that growth is a lifelong journey. Think about it. If you improve by just 1% every day, what would that look like in a year? It might not seem like much day to day, but over time, that 1% turns into massive transformation. That's the power of consistent progress. It compounds, it accelerates, and it leads to breakthroughs you never thought possible. So today, when you face challenges or feel stuck, remind yourself the only person you need to beat is the person you were yesterday. Every small effort, every decision to keep going is a victory. Every time you choose to learn, to grow, to improve, you are becoming a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Your future self is counting on you. Not the version of you who gives up. Not the version of you who makes excuses. But the version of you who refuses to stop, who pushes past pain, who embraces the struggle because they know it leads to growth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be better. And better is always within your reach. It's in the choices you make today, right now. So make them count. Show up for yourself, because every day you do, you're rewriting your story. One step at a time. This is one of the hardest truths you'll ever face. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you a rescue. No one is waiting around to hand you the life you want or the success you crave. The moment you realize that you are your own rescue, that's when everything changes. It's easy to fall into the trap of waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to believe in you, waiting for circumstances to align perfectly. We want the world to show up for us because it feels safer, less risky. But the truth is, waiting is a form of surrender. It's telling yourself that you don't have the power, the strength, or the responsibility to change your own life. And that's a lie. You are not a victim of your situation. You are not powerless against the challenges that come your way. The only person who can truly save you is you. This means taking full ownership of your life. The good, the bad, and everything in between. It means no more blaming others or making excuses. It means standing up, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you want to give up. Being your own rescue starts with mindset. You have to believe that you have what it takes to break free from whatever is holding you back. You have to decide that you won't wait for a hero because you're going to be the hero of your own story. This doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Asking for help is smart and necessary at times. But at the core, the responsibility to act lies with you. When you stop waiting for someone else to fix your problems, you unlock your true power. You begin to realize that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, to learn, and to prove to yourself just how resilient you are. You become unstoppable because your motivation isn't dependent on anyone else's approval or actions. It comes from within. Think about the times you faced adversity and found strength you didn't know you had. Those moments didn't come from outside forces. They came from your determination, your courage, your refusal to quit. That same strength is inside you, right now, waiting to be unleashed. But it won't come unless you stop waiting and start acting. Being your own rescue also means embracing accountability. It's easy to blame others when things go wrong. It feels comfortable to say, if only this person had helped me, or if only circumstances were different. But those thoughts keep you stuck. Accountability means looking in the mirror and saying, what can I do to change my situation? It means being honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to go, and then doing the work to get there. This is not about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about showing up every day with the willingness to fight for your future. It's about making decisions, even when you don't feel ready, because waiting for perfect conditions is just another form of waiting for rescue. You are stronger than you think. You have survived every tough day until now. You have the power to create the life you want if you just take the first step and keep moving forward. No one can do that for you. No one will do it for you. The world respects those who take responsibility for their lives. People are drawn to those who don't wait for help, but become the help. When you decide to be your own rescue, you not only change your story, you inspire others to change theirs. So today, stop waiting. Stop hoping for someone else to fix your problems or give you permission to pursue your dreams. You don't need permission. You don't need rescue. You have everything you need within you right now. Get up, take control, fight for your life, because the only person who can save you is the person staring back at you in the mirror. And that person is stronger, braver, and more capable than you've ever given yourself credit for. No one's coming. You are your rescue. And that's the most powerful truth you will ever know. At the end of the day, the fiercest battle you'll ever face is not against anyone else. It's the war within yourself. It's the struggle to rise above doubt, fear, and the voices that tell you to quit. But here's the undeniable truth. You already have everything it takes to win. The power, the strength, the resilience. They've always been inside you. No one will come to rescue you. No one can fight your fight for you. This journey is yours alone, and it demands your courage, your discipline, and your relentless commitment to becoming better than you were yesterday. When you stop looking outside for permission and start owning your power, you become unstoppable. So stand up, show up, battle your inner critic, outsmart your doubts, and hold yourself accountable. Because the only opponent that matters is you, and the only way forward is through yourself. Remember this, greatness isn't found in comfort or approval. It's forged in the fire of self-mastery. The moment you accept that it's you versus you, and choose to fight with everything you've got, is the moment your life will change forever. You are your own rescue. Now go claim the victory that's already yours.